Morning YouTube, this is silverageddave. I am looking out my front door right now. It is cold and it's raining. I'll probably be running in this pretty soon, but I've been chatting back and forth with Eric K. He's got a setting where he's down in Georgia, and it's probably beautiful in Georgia. It's not here, but that's okay. That's what happens. So I just want to do a shout out appreciation. I've been doing a lot of chatting with you guys. I love the comments. I love the interaction. That's really the part that when I'm making videos, that's the part I really am getting so much joy out of. Appreciate you guys. I wish I could comment faster on videos. This morning with Eric was nice because we're kind of in real time. We're going back and forth on a few different videos. But anyway, thinking of you, so I wanted to answer a couple of questions. So I shot a video the other day, and I thought I'd just do this as a little intro. And wishing you the best this Sunday morning. If it's cold and rainy where you're at, find somewhere you can, read a couple great comic books. If it's nice out, take advantage of it. Silver's thinking of you. All right, guys. Hey guys, this is silverageddave. Today is Friday. I just put out my my video on my comic buyer relationships that I build. I can expand. I think it probably speaks for itself. But of course, if you have any questions on it, you can ask them as part of YouTube, or my email, which is here, is separate. And feel free, if you want to email me, just pause it there and write that down, or sometimes I put it in the descriptions. And this is kind of an interesting thing. One of the most common questions I get is regarding the grading desk, and I think at some point I did a video on this early on, but I'll just run through the whole thing. This is a plastic Lifetime table. I think Lifetime is the brand that makes these, so they're inexpensive. It is a 6-footer because that's what worked best for me. I'm currently working on this little side area here. I've got a couple old collections. This is a group I bought from a girl named Andrea a long time ago, and so I got to get that out of there. I've just always kept it. She was very nice, and it was a cool purchase, so I've always just kept those there. And then this is just some extra CGC stuff that I have, but those are going to go away, and I'm going to have some other stuff in here. And so the 6-foot Lifetime table worked well. Now the glass top, I talked in my buyer relationship video about being frugal in really every other part of my life. I owned a rental property, a handful of years ago, and I had a tenant. Her name was Frances, and her husband slash ex-husband slash then husband again, and then ex-husband who lived with her. They had, decent stuff, but they had a coffee table, and apparently the coffee table itself broke. And when Frances and George moved out, they were, smokers, but this glass top was left, and it wasn't for a desk. It was just a glass top for this coffee table. I think a leg broke, or who knows, but the top survived, but they left it, and it was all stained with tobacco. And the apartment itself was fine, but this top was there. And at the time I had a little warehouse space where I kept extra stuff I would come into from time to time for rental properties. And so the top was just there. So literally it's a free top. It's for a coffee table. And sometimes I worry that it's not real. You could buy them for a desk, and they're real thick. This one's not real thick. And sometimes I worry when I set long boxes here in the middle, because the table itself, as you can see, the table bends. Obviously the glass doesn't, but I've had 2 long boxes like here and here, and it hasn't broke yet. So what I'd recommend, you can go to Office Max and you can buy one of these things for like, $80 or $100. I don't know how much a glass true desk top is. They're pretty pricey if you buy it brand new. Or you can go to Goodwill. We have a place here called Habitat Humanity. There's, sometimes different outlet stores. And literally, I don't want to say go to Goodwill and buy a perfectly good table and then throw out the table and keep the glass. But if you can buy it for 10 bucks and you don't need the table, you can get that perfectly good top. And, you know, and as you see, like I've told a few people, I think Robert Harrigan was the most recent one to ask, but a lot of people have asked me about that when they see me cut stuff. And it's just, hey, you know, thinking outside the box, make stuff work. And by saving money on that, I can spend more money on comic books. Another common comment that I get, a lot of people say, oh man, you drink Bud Light. Well, every time I drink Bud Light versus drinking like a $5 beer or an $8 beer, which I do like the taste of a, you know, a Hockershore Weiss or, you know, some of the deeper beers. I like buying a 6-pack now and then of good beer, but every time I drink a Bud Light, that's a comic book. And so we just make room, and I like the taste of Bud Light. I like beer in general. I can drink more beers if I'm drinking Bud Light, and that's what I'm all about, is having a few more beers and not getting wrecked. So that's pretty good. So those are a couple questions. I'm sure there'll be more. Thank you guys so much for asking questions and taking interest in me and the hobby and what I do. I hope you know, those questions never end. I really do enjoy them. So I'll add this to something else. But that's it for those couple of questions I get very often.